Welcome to Daily Papers, the podcast where we break down interesting new research into bite-sized conversations.
Today we're looking at a fascinating paper about generative AI, storytelling, and disability. It's called Creating Disability Story Videos with Generative AI, Motivation, Expression, and Sharing.
It sounds like a lot, but the core idea is really simple. People with disabilities have powerful stories to tell, and short videos on platforms like TikTok or YouTube are a great way to share them, raise awareness, and build community.
Right, but making videos isn't easy for everyone. It can require technical skills, expensive equipment, and for some, there are accessibility barriers that make the whole process difficult.
Exactly. So this is where generative AI comes in. We're talking about tools like ChatGPT that can write scripts or DALL-E that can create images from a text description. The big question the researchers wanted to answer was, can this technology help people with disabilities tell their stories through video? And what does that actually look like in practice?
To figure this out, the researchers worked with 9 people from a disability advocacy group. These participants were given access to a few AI tools and were asked to create a short, 1-minute video about a disability-related experience.
The process was pretty cool. First, they'd tell ChatGPT the story they wanted to tell, and the AI would write a 6-scene script with narration. Then, for each scene, they'd use an AI image generator to create a picture. Finally, an AI voice would narrate the script over the images, and it would all be put together into a video.
So what kind of stories did they choose to tell?
This is where it gets really powerful. The participants didn't tell abstract stories. They focused on very real, everyday challenges. One person created a video about a man who uses a walker and can't get into a restaurant because of a flight of stairs. Another showed a wheelchair user who couldn't get onto a train because the ramp was too steep.
So they were using AI to visualize the daily frustrations of inaccessibility.
Exactly, and that was one of the biggest benefits they found. The paper calls it non-capturable depiction. That's a technical term, but it just means showing moments that are hard or even impossible to film in real life.
Like what?
Well, you can't easily film the feeling of social anxiety, but you can ask an AI to create an image of a person looking nervous with sweaty palms. You can't film a future you're hoping for, but you can generate an image of it. This allowed them to express emotions and ideas visually in a way they couldn't before.
And a huge plus was that they could tell these deeply personal stories without having to be on camera themselves. The AI created a character for them so they could maintain their privacy while still sharing an authentic experience.
That's a huge deal, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. As you can probably guess with AI, things got a little weird sometimes.
I can imagine. What went wrong?
For one, the AI had a consistency problem. In one scene, a character might be wearing a blue shirt, and in the very next scene, the AI would generate the same character but with a red shirt and glasses they didn't have before.
That would definitely break the flow of a story. It's like the AI has no short-term memory.
Pretty much, but the problems went deeper than just shirt colors. The AI also showed some serious biases. For example, one participant prompted a story about a character with cerebral palsy. Without being asked, the AI automatically put the character in a wheelchair.
That's a problem. It's reinforcing a stereotype and misrepresenting someone's experience, because not everyone with cerebral palsy uses a wheelchair.
Exactly. Another participant wanted to show a specific type of walker, called a posterior walker, but the AI just kept generating a standard, generic walker. It couldn't grasp the specific, nuanced details of their lived experience.
It shows the limitations of these tools. They're trained on massive amounts of data from the internet, and that data is full of biases and stereotypes, which the AI then reproduces. It also struggles with things that aren't common knowledge.
And sometimes it just did bizarre things, like adding misspelled text onto the images for no reason. The participants constantly had to go back and correct the AI, telling it, no, remake the image, but the character should be in the classroom, or no, remake the image, but remove the glasses.
So it was a true collaboration, but one where the human had to be a very patient director, constantly giving notes to a sometimes unruly AI actor.
That's the perfect way to put it. So after going through this whole process, the big question was, would they actually share these videos?
And what did they say?
The response was mixed. Most said yes, they would. They saw these videos as valuable tools to send to business owners or city planners to say, look, this is a real problem. They'd also share them with family and friends to help them understand their experiences.
But a couple of participants felt the quality just wasn't good enough yet. They worried the videos felt a bit artificial or wouldn't be taken seriously. One person said that unless the story was on a major news network, sharing it felt pointless.
That makes sense. It's a balance between the power of the story and the quality of the medium. So what's the big takeaway from all of this?
The researchers propose a framework they call momentous depiction. The idea is that Gen AI's best use here is for showing those crucial, important moments that define an experience, especially the ones that are hard to capture on camera.
Exactly. And to do that well, the AI needs to get four things right. It needs to be able to depict those non-capturable moments, allow people to represent themselves without disclosing their identity, create scenes that are realistic and consistent, and finally, it needs to be able to articulate emotion in a genuine way.
Exactly. The final conclusion of the paper is a really great one. They say we should think of AI not as a story writer, but as a story completer.
I love that. The human is the one with the vision, the experience, the core of the story. The AI is just a tool that can help fill in the details, build the visuals, and bring that vision to life.
A tool that still needs a lot of work, but one that has incredible potential to empower people and help them share their stories with the world.